Hey, so I got this question the other day, and it was, hey, what does a day in a life look like for you, Johnny, running your school? And I thought, well, instead of giving the answers in this is what I do in the morning and this is what I do, in the afternoon and all that sort of stuff and those little details, it's actually probably more beneficial to tell you what I spend or what I choose to spend my time on. So I'm going to give you the 5 things that I try to spend all my work time on. And one thing I'll just say before I get into these 5 things is that when you start out, running your own business, whether you're just teaching on your own, or even if you've just got 1 or 2 team members or 5 team members, you kind of do everything, right? You're the marketing manager, you're the sales manager, you're the customer service representative, you're the cleaner, you're the curriculum development person, you're the I don't know, you're the CEO, you're the accountant, you're the photographer, you're the social media person, you're everything, right? And so as your business grows and your school grows, if you do things correctly, you actually have to start specializing more and more as more people come along, and you end up passing things down. And I did a vlog about our organizational chart, which basically lays out all the team members we have and what they do. So you can find that vlog if you want to see how we've sort of put our 50 team members into an organizational chart so we're the most effective. But for you, the business owner, the business leader, whether it's a small business or a big one, you have to specialize more and more and get more narrow in the things that you do, the bigger that your business gets, okay? So I'm going to give you the 5 things that I have to spend all my time on. Well, I choose to spend my time on, and my assistant Melissa, she makes sure that these are the things that are on my list, and everything else possible is delegated and pushed down to other people. And in doing that, it's not like just giving them the crap stuff. It's often giving them exciting things that I would, love to be doing, but it helps raise other people up. And that's how it's all sort of works. And so, of course, in that other vlog, I talk about this. So let's get into the 5 things that I choose to spend all my work time in. And I hope there's something in there that, sparks an idea for you and possibly inspires you to stop doing some other things and to spend more time doing maybe some of these things. So let's get into it, all right? Number 1 is strategic planning. So I spend a huge amount of time strategic planning, thinking through the details of how we're going to grow, how we're going to navigate through tough situations. I think about who is going to, be in charge of what. And I think about literally every little step that we need to take to get somewhere. I will then, involve the right people in those plans, so I don't have to do every single thing, but I'm thinking through strategic plan for my business. This is where we want to grow to. This is what we want to achieve. What are the steps to get there? And as I mentioned, it's all written out, and I'm tweaking it all the time. So every week I'm going in and going, oh, well, this happened now, and so that affects this thing, and so we'll tweak that. And different parts of the strategic plan are shared with different people. And the tools that I use are really simple. I use Trello, so Trello.com, and that's free. And I can share that with people and color code things and attach documents. It's a really great sort of in-house project management sort of tool and to-do list system. So I use all these sorts of different boards in Trello, and I use Google spreadsheets, and that's free, of course. And so use that for all the numbers and some other lists and things. And so that's what I'm using for my strategic planning. So that is the number 1 thing that I would be working on. And I tell our BAM squad members, you need to, no matter what size your business, minimum 3 hours a week dedicated, you on your own, focusing on strategic planning, okay? Thinking through every little detail. And not enough people do that at all. They just get in, do the work, and just hope that it generally steers in the right direction. But you need to pull yourself out of the business and work on it for a minimum of 3 hours. And like I say, I'll be doing a heck of a lot more than that for my job. So that's number 1, strategic planning. Number 2, the second thing that I spend time on is sales. So sales, of course, is the lifeblood of any business. And so I am lucky enough to not have to do all the sales in terms of lessons, and if someone rings up or sends an email about wanting to learn the piano or the violin or something, I don't have to work on that anymore, which is really cool. So I've got other people working on those sales things, but I'm working on the big stuff. So for instance, if you follow us on Facebook, or if you're in the BAM squad, I share all the things that I'm doing. And the other day I got a new school contract for a program that we run, and I'd been trying to get into this particular school that was actually my old school, and they haven't, sort of welcomed me in until now, and it's been about 7 or 8 years. And so that particular school, I would have made contact with them twice a year for probably 7 or 8 years, but now we've got this massive contract that's going to be worth, gosh, it could be $20,000 to $30,000 a year, so that's really great. So I'm working on the big stuff. Another thing I work on in terms of sales is sponsorships. So we have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sponsorships from businesses, from local government, national government, and I'm sort of brokering those deals, trying to get my foot in the door in many places, write fancy applications with our team, and try to get the big bucks, because it goes a really long way in a music school that is already really great at doing things on the cheap. So those are the big things that I'm doing in terms of sales. For you, if you're running a small business, it has to be your number one priority. You need to be the first person on the phone to take the inquiry in case they've inquired to 5 other music teachers. You need to be putting sales right at the top, because that's literally, cash keeps you growing and surviving, paying the bills. So sales, number 2. Third thing that I spend majority of my time on is content development. So many years ago, that would be things like planning out all the curriculum for the instruments that I'm qualified in, and mapping out how we're going to teach students and get great results, and create really cool programs and performance opportunities and all that sort of stuff. That would be the content development I would have been working on many years ago, and now I've got people that do all that stuff. So what content am I working on now? Well, I am working on the content that is all about training the managers, training the teachers, how to be great teachers. I'm working on content for new systems that help our business go stronger and further, faster. I'm working on just trainings for our team, working on content for the BAM squad to help them and pass on what we've learnt in a really practical way. So content development is another thing that I'm spending a lot of my time on, and that's something I really enjoy as well. Fourth thing is management. So we've got a big team here, and we've got quite a few managers that help manage different teams, but I manage the managers. So I obviously would have started, as I grew a team, and it would have been me as the boss and then everyone else underneath me, probably from when it was me to, I'm trying to think how many staff before I had a manager in between us. It could have been up to like 5 years. So I manage the managers, and so I'm thinking about how can I best support them, help them grow professionally, musically, and support them even, emotionally, and just, try my best. Don't always nail it, but to be a good boss and a good manager. And a good manager is someone that's, not going to be a pushover, but they're really kind, compassionate, they care, but they also have a professional development plan for their people. They're pointing out things that they see that they can work on. They're finding resources to help them work on that. And along with management comes lots of meetings. So I spend quite a lot of time in my day in meetings. So today I had a meeting for probably an hour with my executive assistant, Mel, who then, spreads out a whole lot of stuff to other people. I also had about a half-hour meeting with our foundation team. So there's about 6 or 7 of them. They work with our charitable focus, which is providing free mentoring and music scholarships for underprivileged kids. So I had a meeting with them. Every day I would usually have 2 to 3 meetings, and you try and keep them short, and you have agendas, and you start the meeting with, hey, what are we trying to achieve in this meeting? We lay it out, we go through it, cool, let's wrap it up. You're doing this, great, we'll come back another week or 2 weeks, we'll have it done, great. So a lot of time in meetings comes with spending your time in managing people. So that's the fourth thing. Fifth thing, and this would be one that I would love to not have to do, but it is one that comes with any job like mine, and it is preventing blockages. So what do I mean by that? Well, these are things that could be slowing down a person or a team from achieving what they want to achieve. Now, when you're starting out and you're running a smaller school, that could be things as simple as, I don't know, the piano stool broke and you need to go get it fixed. That's a blockage because it's preventing, someone else doing their work. It could be, I don't know, today there was one where we just changed our work credit card because one expired. And so a whole bunch of, subscriptions stopped because our credit card had expired and the other one had been cancelled, and so I needed to log in with the details to change it over, and only I want to give my credit card out. So that would be an example of a blockage. And so it's also looking in my strategic plan, what is there that's creating a blockage for a team? There might be certain things like if you want to create, say, a really good promotional flyer for some program that you're doing, and you believe that you're the best person that can write that copy for the flyer, you might do it. And before you've done that, the team can't move forward and promote with that flyer. So that would be an example of a blockage. And so those are the 5 things that I try to spend all my work time on. Everything else has to be pushed out to other people and let them sort of grow. So you want to try and eventually it's like you hire tutors to help you. You might hire an admin person to help you, and then once that grows and grows, you need to really start. Well, you start earlier, but you need to turn them into leaders and managers as well. So they've got that sense of ownership and they're really growing what you are doing. And it's not just a paycheck, but they want to be part of what you're doing and growing with you. And so you have to keep pushing things down, as I said, so they can step up. And a lot of that means pushing down fun stuff. So I used to love going and performing in all the concerts in the schools that we would do. I used to love working in our foundation program. I used to love doing so many things that I've had to hand on to other people. And I watch them and they're doing an incredible job, and in most cases they do it better than me. But sometimes I'm like, oh man, I wish I get to do that today. But you have to keep pushing things down. So there we go. Those are the 5 things I'm working on in my time: strategic planning, sales, content development, management, and preventing blockages. I hope that helps you. Feel free to leave a comment or a question below, and I am happy to answer that.